All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with another show, our second show, the Filthy Casual and Hardcore show. And joining me today is my boy Ola, my co-host Ola. Say hello to the people.
Yeah, we're back again with the show, and what a magnificent show that we've got to talk about today. And yeah, what's happening, people? It's lovely to be back here, breaking down some MMA fights with you guys and boxing fight. So it's a good one. Let's make it a good one.
So let's talk about the boxing, get that out of the way so that we could then talk about the UFC, which is what I'm sure people will start to flood in and gather in for. So Amir Khan yesterday fought Samuel Vargas and he won a 12-round unanimous decision. I'll be honest with you, it weren't a great performance from him. It weren't. Initially, he knocked him down, and everyone thought, fucking hell, Amir Khan all of a sudden got power. And then Vargas recovered and then knocked him down. And I was like, oh my days, what is going on? But that's Khan for you. The one thing I'll say about Amir Khan, the guy ain't boring to watch. For better or worse, he's never in a boring fight. Just because he's so vulnerable. Him and that glass chin of his, it's so vulnerable. But no, it was an interesting fight. I think the thing that kind of made me realize when I watched that fight, because we didn't learn anything from the first comeback fight. You know, he'd been out the ring, I think it was about 18 months, 2 years, and then he knocked out the guy in like 30 seconds. The guy that he fought earlier this year. Yeah. This gave everybody a better idea of where he was at. And I'm not being funny. If his target is to fight your Sean Porters, your Danny Garcias, the very best of the division.
Your Carl Brooks and that.
Khan ain't good enough to beat these guys. If I'm Amir Khan, I get that Kell Brook check and get the fuck out. To me, it's a no-brainer. He's chasing Pacquiao because Pacquiao's a spent force these days. I don't think anyone really cares about that fight. The fight that people actually want to see with Khan is the one he's been dodging for about 5 years, and that's him versus Kell Brook.
That's because everybody wants to see him get mashed up. Everybody wants to see him get knocked out.
Yeah, because I personally think Kell Brook would beat him. I said it in the last show. I'll say it again. I think Kell Brook beats Amir Khan. I know Kell Brook is like a skeleton at 147, but I think he's got too much for Khan. Khan is fantastic. He's amazingly fast. But as soon as you touch them whiskers, he's out. He's out. And I think Kell Brook would have the beating of him. Moving on to the second fight, the world title fight, Sean Porter becomes WBC welterweight champion.
Yeah, congratulations to Sean Porter, man.
Yeah, I think that was your pick.
That's a big W for him.
That was your pick. For some reason, I went with Garcia. My predictions were well off this week, by the way. So
I laser focus pinned all of mine. Like.
You won.
Gang.
The correct one was Amir Khan.
Because
even
we both went for Khan, really.
Yeah. Because as we come onto UFC, I know we didn't review the fight at the time, but the fight that got promoted was the amazing Jessica Andrade and
oh my!
We'll come on to that. Don't get me wrong, but I would have picked Carolina before that fucking fight. So there you go. Sean Porter becomes WBC champ. Another 12-round unanimous decision. Deserved the win. I thought it was a good fight, real interesting fight. And as a friend of the show, Andy from the Gooners in the USA podcast, a big shout out to him. As he said in our WhatsApp chat,
big up, Rodzi.
He cannot stand the Garcia family, and I completely agree.
I see you lot talking about it in the chat earlier on.
Bruv, I can't stand that Angel Garcia, bro. His dad feels himself way too much like his son has achieved something. All right, he's a world champion. That's it. He ain't the best. Like the way he goes on, he thinks he's nah. I'm not a fan of the guy. I'm not. The way he carries himself, I'm not about that line. So I was very happy that Porter won. And to be honest, I felt like it'd be a close fight. I did think, I did think Garcia would win. Don't know why I thought that, but I did. But fair play to him. Well done, Sean Porter and the new. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this thing.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. The beast that is Tyron Woodley.
Are we jumping straight into it?
Let's do it, bro. Starched.
One thing I said. I don't know what's going on with the echo there. Maybe you might be able to sort it down your side there.
Are you echoing?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, keep talking, I'll sort it.
Right. So I said in the last pod, there is one thing that Till actually admitted by himself. And he said, if there is one flaw in his game, one thing he's got to fix about his all-round game,
is his jiu-jitsu. Yeah, you did see that in the preview. You did.
It's his jiu-jitsu. And the one thing that ended up shutting his lights out was jiu-jitsu. One thing that Woodley, because everybody was saying how big Till was for Woodley, and everybody forgets that Woodley has always fought man that's bigger than him. And that always works in their advantage. It always works to their advantage. Always. He finds ways to get underneath him quickly. If you see how he closes the distance, reaching for the clinch, he found it easy. And it was bombing shots as he was closing the distance. The one thing I didn't really like was the ref breaking them way too early in the clinch. Like, do you know what it takes for a man to get into a clinch with someone of a Muay Thai background?
Yeah.
Like Darren Till. So you get into the clinch, you're there for 30 seconds, and the ref wants to peel you off the man.
Yeah.
So you can get... What's that for?
I also thought that was a bit quick. Like, if this was boxing, I could understand. But this is like UFC. You kind of expect that. The kind of clinching and the holding to maneuver your opponent where you want them to be maneuvered. Now, obviously, you're the hardcore guy when it comes to UFC.
Yeah.
So, do you know why that would have happened? Because
usually the refs allow the clinch as long as you're working, as long as you're doing something. And in my eyes, they were doing something. That they had that cage control going on. They had the grappling going on. They literally just got into the clinch, and it broke them off twice. And the ref. That ref, Mitrologi, I can't pronounce his name. He's a mad name he's got.
I have seen him before.
He's a ref that I rate. I rate him a lot. I think he's one of the best refs they got going on in the UFC. So for him to do that in a title fight, in a big fight like that, it was puzzling to me. I didn't get it. But you look at the way Tyron Woodley closed down the gap. It was there. It was in his face, and it was the one really throwing all the shots in the first round. So even if we were to go by points and decisions in the first round, I would have given that to Woodley because he threw most of the shots. And to be fair to Till, it was kind of feeling what trying to feel the power. It got a flash knockdown in the first round, but it got straight back up. It didn't really phase him, as Till will always let everybody know that punch there didn't do nothing to me. But everybody that watches Woodley would know as a man that always moved backwards to wrap up his momentum with the right hand when he's going to throw it. And in this case, Till made the ultimate mistake, the biggest mistake you could make. especially for a man like Woodley that's so meticulous in his preparations, so meticulous. I mean, this guy is always prepping for worst case scenarios. And this is what he did with Lola when he went into the cage with Lola, you know, to hang with killers like Wonder Boy twice, Demian Maia. These guys are killers. And to hang in them the way he did, that's studying your opponent. And it's kind of what we've wanted for Wenger, if I was to bring it down to that side for a minute. Like, study your opponent so you know exactly what they're bringing. And Woodley is the best guy at doing this.
But that's, you know what, on that point, I think you are spot on, because you know what I was looking for, other than the fight, was what was Darren Till's reaction afterwards? And his reaction was, if you watch any of his interviews, all his interviews were like, you know, I just assumed that my biggest battle was going to be the weight cut, that, you know, when I got my weight down, I just assumed I was going to win. I just thought I was going to win.
Yeah, took it for granted.
Yeah, like it's almost like the man didn't really have a plan other than to just turn up and be Darren Till.
Again, more like Wenger. It's, you know, you get it wrong when you just feel you can just show up, play your game, and then your game will get you through. It don't work like that, because there's guys, these guys, they prep months, you know, going into their camp, and they do videos, they watch all your weaknesses, they watch how you move, they study where you swing to, when they feint a shot, how you duck out of the way, where you're more likely to lean to, and that's where they're gonna catch you. Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what Dillashaw done with Cody Garbrandt. Yeah. He said, I knew when I feint a shot, I knew where he was gonna feint, and that's where I was gonna catch him. So when Till came in with the uppercut, my man ducked it, but we knew, or they knew, he was going to come in with a straight left afterwards. Yeah. And you heard Chromie talking about it. When you're going with the uppercut and you don't connect and you're coming back in with the straight left, you're exposed. Yeah. And people like Woodley, that's bread and butter for them all day long. Bread and butter. And when you go one punch knockout power or knockdown power like Woodley does, he knows he's gonna get you to the ground. Even if he tried it with the takedown, single. I told you, first thing he's gonna go for is a single leg, double leg takedown. But Till was too strong for that. He resisted it, way too strong for it. Couldn't do it. And eventually, you have to find other ways to try and get him down. And I said to you in the last spot that Woodley's got way too much tools in the box for Darren Till, because Darren Till is up and coming. My man's he's defended the title 3 times, but before that, he's been hanging with killers. And you know, to start.
And what I like about Tyron is he seems to have adapts every single fight. Like, he shows something different.
Absolutely, and that was why he said if Darren Till didn't make weight, there's no way he was going to fight Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is a boy that I root for in the UFC.
Of course,
you know? Nigerian, you already know. You already know. Israel Adesanya is another one. Man's always rooting for that there. So, you know, Kamaru Usman is one that I was rooting for, and I thought maybe he might sneak his way in there, but obviously Woodley let him know straight from the off. Even if Till does not make weight, I'm not fighting you, because I've been fighting for a man of this size, a man of this weight, a man of this reach, a man of Muay Thai background.
Yeah, apart from anything, Usman is a beast.
Usman is exactly, you know what I mean? So
that fight in 24 hours notice.
There's no way he's taking that fight, and I agree with him. There's no reason for you to take a fight like that. You're the champ, you know. Yeah. So if you've done all your homework, echoing again, if you've done all your homework, going after somebody of Muay Thai background, the size of Darren Till, there's no reason to be going to take a fight with Kamaru Usman. So for me, I thought Woodley done exactly what he said he was going to do, how he said he was going to do it. A lot of people doubted him, and I knew he was going to get the job done. And you know, I didn't know the dust was coming. To be fair, because it doesn't really, it's not really a submission sort of man. But I know his jiu-jitsu and his wrestling was right up there, and that was going to see him through. And ultimately, that's what he used to get Till out of there, and to do it in the second round as well. Because we thought, well, championship rounds is probably where it was going to take him. And you know, I gotta give props to Darren Till. The amount of barrage of elbows that he took down there when he was on the ground. He's a tough customer, man. He's a tough motherfucker, and he was laughing most of it off. Yeah. You know, he made Woodley even think, like, hold on, this guy's taking so much shots that I don't want to fucking punch myself out, that I can't get into the third rounds and beyond.
Yeah, I know the part you're talking about, because there was a moment where Woodley was just banging and banging a good 5-6 elbows to the head.
Yeah.
And then in my mind, when I was watching it, I thought to myself, bruh, you better not gas out, because it's looking like you're going to gas out. So I think he had that conscious thought process of, okay, let's slow down here. Maybe this is what he wants. He's trying to rope-a-dope me or some shit. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. And it was quick adjustment from Woodley.
Quick and sharp adjustments.
Woodley doesn't do submissions, but he thought to himself, you know what? My man's neck is right here. Let's put a dart on him and see what happens.
I mean, for Darren Till not to even recognize, not to have any inkling.
Yeah, because Tyron said that he put his arm around his neck a couple of times and nothing happened.
And the man didn't even react to it. He didn't know. He didn't. It's like, I'm just going to defend his punches, and that's what was going on in his mind. And I thought to myself, wow, you know, it's crazy. That shows how much work he's got to do on his jiu-jitsu, because if people are sneaking in darts on you or neck choke on you, guillotine, he couldn't hang with people like Ortega. He's trying to go up to, you know, these guys, they will cinch that thing on your neck and you ain't getting enough.
Yeah.
Once it's on, that's you. It's over. Yeah. And you know, prop to Till. You know, I think he's gonna come back. You know, he's a young fighter. He's got loads of time on his hands.
He'll come back at welterweight.
He wants to do it at welterweight before moving up. How much can his body weight, his body take from the weight cut? Because this weight cut, as much as he tries to say it was a good weight cut for him, I watched his whole build up on the weight cut, and it wasn't that great a weight cut. You know,
hey, he was a pound under. He was 169.
Yeah, it made the weight, but it took a lot out of him. And I said in the previous pod that weight cut was going to take a lot. It's going to take so much out of him. And, you know...
I appreciate the irony coming from a big guy to say this, but you know what I don't understand? Why he allows himself to balloon up if he knows he has to cut down? Like, Ricky had to do that shit all the time. And I'm like, myself, but why allow it to get out of control when you're fighting? You're an active fighter. You're an active athlete. And you know, at some point, you're going to have to boil this shit down. Why did you allow yourself to get out of control in the first place?
This is where I have to praise his professionalism, you know, making sure that, because some people wouldn't even care about making weight and they'll lose a portion of their money, or they'll just forfeit, you know, winning the title if they won the fight, they wouldn't get the belt. The belt will still be with the champion that came in with the belt. So, you know, I have to give him props for that. He made weight. He said he was going to show up, and he showed up. I just wish that he gave Woodley a little bit more of a fight, because to me, Woodley dominated both rounds. First round, second round. Dominated. You know, he didn't even take a single strike.
Right.
None that I recalled.
You know that's the case when they're asking Tyron, oh, when will you be back? Are you going to face Colby? Right? And Colby's calling him out for Madison Square Garden, which is in November. We're in September, bro.
Colby is a jackass, man. But the press conference is going to be so interesting on that one.
But I'll tell you what, if Tyron beats him back to back, how can people not shit? How can people still shit on him after beating Till and Colby? People can't still shit on the guy. You know, all you like about how Tyron likes using the race card and likes playing the race card and this, that, and the other. Whatever. You know, that's debatable. But his fighting, you can't fuck with Tyron. You can't fuck with him. You cannot fuck with him. Actually, the only person that I think might actually give him problems, ironically, and they have quite a good relationship, is Usman. I think Usman
absolutely. I think Usman is got the skills to take him to deep waters.
Yeah.
I think Usman is probably one of the only guys that's got the same amount of skill level as Woodley, and it'll be an interesting fight. I mean, Woodley would, from what he was saying, he wants to see. Huh?
Woodley's probably the better striker, though.
He's definitely a better striker, but you know, Usman is no slouch. He's got a one-punch knockout power as well. So I think it'd be a great fight. Look, for me, Colby is the interim champion, but he got stripped. So does that mean him and Usman has got to do it first to see who the number one contender really is? Because he lost the chance to go straight head to head with Tyron. He already lost the chance because he got stripped of his interim belt. So that entitlement of going straight to get a title fight is already lost that. So now Usman is up there. He wants a shot. Colby is up there. He wants a shot. I think both of them need to battle it out first, and then see what happens. Yeah, and then the winner of that gets to fight Tyron Woodley. So I think that's probably how it's gonna go in the end. So
who do you think win in a fight like that?
Man, I mean, Colby is a tricky customer. Put aside all the trash talk,
all his antics. He's a good fighter.
He's a good fighter. You got to look deep into what he really does. He gets people out of there. He does what he needs to do to if he has to win on points. He figures that out early in the fight. That okay, I can't really knock this guy out. I can't really choke him out or get him by submission. I'm just going to rack up my points. Just stay busy, stay on the outside, stay busy, and get the points and get the W that way. So it's going to be an interesting one to watch. But we'll see how the match gets made up. You know. So if anybody in the chat room is watching, you want to send in questions and that, please do, and we'll do that. We'll take the questions towards the end of the show. Yeah. There is another topic that I want to get enough of.
Go on, do your thing.
Get enough of Woodley, Jessica Andrade, and Carolina. What did you make of that fight there? What did you make of it?
We didn't do a preview for that, right? But I ain't gonna lie, I'd have picked Carolina. I would have thought she has the height on her. I thought she would have the skill on her. What I completely forgot about is that Jessica fucking hits like a truck. That was basically what happened. Basically, one thing I realized in UFC, and maybe you'll be able to correct me on this.
No, go on.
One thing I realized in UFC is generally when you just have a fuck it attitude and you just march forward and you decide you don't care what this guy or girl is going to come back with, I'm just going to stomp forward and knock this fucker out. Generally, you tend to be quite successful. Not all the time, but generally. And that's basically what Jessica did. She just walked forward and just did this. And just knocked the fuck out cold as well.
Cold. Like, she didn't even go and put the finishing touches on it.
Oh, my goodness. It was, I ain't going to lie, it was a whooping. That was a whooping. Gosh, you know when you get punched by someone and you feel like your whole life changed in that moment?
I see Carolina's eyes rolling in the back of her head, man, and I thought, oh my God.
Oh man,
what's happened here?
That was tough and amazing to watch all at the same time.
I mean, she's called that Rose Namajunas. She's called out Tug Rose for the 29th December.
I like Rose a
UFC
lot.
232.
I worry for her in that fight. I do, because Rose doesn't do well to those types. Rose, from what I can see, likes the technical types that she can kind of fiddle their way around. Whereas actual beast, because she's been beat before.
Carolina actually beat Rose before.
Yeah, I think she's been knocked out before. And to me, I don't like that fight for Rose at all. Oh, man.
It's going to be difficult for Rose, man. Rose, on the other hand, her preparation reminds me of Woodley. She is meticulous.
Yes.
She studies everything. Did you see her on Joe Rogan's pod with Barry, her husband?
Yeah.
I mean, she's got this kind of sixth sense kind of business where she kind of knows what's going to happen before it happens.
Yeah.
It's crazy when she describes it, and I've always thought to myself, people that do that have that kind of energy, they usually successful, because she's a girl from Lithuania, grew up out there in America, and her dad had one of them psychosis business, where you had to get put into a mental home, and she had to look after her brother out there in the ghetto. She's been through a lot, and she's just one of those that material shit means fuck all to her.
That's why
I mean.
Isn't it?
That's why she shaved her hair. She didn't want none of this image rights. What Paige Van Zandt.
She's a very pretty girl. So I think she kind of just thought, oh well, fuck this. I will shave my hair just to show you don't mean shit.
That's right.
And she did. Fair fucking play to her.
So she didn't want none of these image rights. What Paige Van Zandt and all of them is getting and all of that. She was like, no, I'm not in none of that. I'm not here to model. I'm here to fucking win titles.
Paige is a model. You should just stop fighting. This is a model. That's all she is.
She's still an alright fighter, though. She's alright. She's alright. She makes up the numbers real good. So, moving off of that, Zabit.
Oh, that submission was wonderful.
Right.
I'm gonna lie, that guy is a beast.
That guy's dangerous, man.
If I'm Max, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I mean, Max has got problems already with my man, but
and he's calling out Chad Mendes, man. He's calling out Chad Mendes. I mean, this guy is going to be a problem for that division.
Yeah, he'll beat Chad Mendes. I'm telling you now, my man's going to be the Khabib of that division.
He's a problem. He's a real problem for that division. I mean, he's coming for a lot of people, but he's just trying to work his way up the ranks. Because the first fight he had on UFC got him ranked, and because he was unranked before, nobody really knew about him.
Yeah,
and now he's all about climbing up the top 10 table now, and for me, the top five, I mean the bottom five that's in front of him, he's going to clear them out real quick. He's going to clear everybody out. Where
is Chad Mendes ranked?
Chad Mendes is 7th right now in the rankings.
Where is he?
Yeah, 7th.
He's 7th. Okay.
Yeah. So he's calling out.
Chad is 7th or is Sabit?
No. Chad is 7th. Sabit only just broke 10.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. He was unranked before. He's only just broke 10. He's got 2 fights.
I didn't think he was. Well, he might have been ranked lower than 10, but. Yeah, I don't know.
So he's just broke 10, and basically he's got to start clearing up the people above him, and I think he'll get there in no time. This guy It doesn't take damage when it goes into fights. It looks fresh when it comes out of fights. And I think another 3 months will probably be ready to take another fight. So you see all these Russians, man, right? The wrestling background that they have and the jiu-jitsu background they have, the way they submit people, and for me, that outweighs somebody that's just got striking to their game.
Yeah.
And speaking of someone who's got striking to their game, there's a brother that's called Abdul Razak. Yesterday, lit up Nico. I mean, 43 seconds. Them two were just trading, throwing bombs yesterday, man. And this guy got caught. He just. I mean, he was still standing when he was out, and his body just dropped like jelly. I couldn't believe what I was watching, man. I thought, wow, this is ridiculous. But for me, it's another one that you got to keep an eye on. You definitely got to keep an eye on Abdul Razak. So he's at 10. He's on a 10 fight win streak. He's on a 10 fight win streak, and he's knocked everybody out in the first round. And the people he's fighting, they know slouches. So he's one to keep an eye on. Again, unranked, trying to get into the ranking positions to start challenging people up there. So, and Aljamain Sterling, it comes with Matt Serra. If you know about Matt Serra has got one of the best gyms going on out there.
I know GSP back in the day.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So he's got one of the best gyms out there. He's a proper coach now. Only just got into Hall of Fame with the UFC. So he's a real coach. Real coach. And he's took Aljamain Sterling under his wing. Jamaican guy, Jamaican origins. And, this guy is lighting up the place. He's literally killing everybody. And he's got himself so noticed out there. I think he's on a 7-win streak now. And he's knocking people out, submissions, all type of finishes. I mean, win bonuses, fight night performance of the night bonuses. He's getting it all.
You called out Dominick Cruz, right?
Bro, you're on point. Spot on with that. He called out Cruz. That's a big call out.
Yeah, fucking hell.
And I think he could get it done. Because Cruz, to be fair to him, he's been doing media work, like Delicious been saying. He's been doing media work, man. You've been out now. He's not been active for 2 years, man. And coming to fight a young killer like Sterling that's been active, he's been killing people. It's a dangerous fight for Cruz. And if Cruz was to lose, if he took that fight and was to lose it, that would set him back about 5 steps.
Yeah, kiss goodbye to TJ. TJ doesn't want that fight now. I have to say, I must admit, with TJ, he does surprise me sometimes. Because you think...
I love TJ, man. I'm a big fan, man.
Yeah, but you would think that he'd be like, all right, fuck it. I want my revenge on the loss that I had. But you could tell my man he wants none of Dominick Cruz.
I called TJ before, just before the fight with Barao, the first fight with Barao.
Okay.
And because for me, you see all them Brazilians, yeah, they were bad, and that's why they were defending their titles for such a long time. Barao defended his title for 8 long years. No one could touch him. And the same thing was with Jose Aldo, and them two were training partners. But this was before USADA showed up and started testing them motherfuckers for drugs. And soon as USADA showed up and started testing these motherfuckers, they start losing. I'm like, surprise. These people been juiced the fuck up. Them man, they're on juices, man. You know what I mean? I thought, come on, man, get out of here. So you got to look at it that way. And Yeah, man, it's a big fight. It's gonna be a big fight for Cruz if Cruz was to take it, and I feel Cruz needs to take a fight like that just to prove to the UFC and to the division that, listen, I might have been out for a long time, but I'm still right up there,
Mm.
and I can still get job done. So if he does that, then obviously TJ don't, he got nowhere to hide. He's got to take that fight.
I agree. For me, it's getting interesting. Actually, it's getting interesting because when you look through the card, um, all the champions have key decisions to make, other than Khabib, who's already fighting Conor.
Yeah,
But even once he gets through Conor, then he will have a really big decision to make. Does he fight Ferguson? You know, assuming that Portier comes through Diaz, does he fight Portier? Arguably, Portier might deserve it. Arguably, deserves to fight. My man
I I
keeps beating
think
people
I
that.
like I like Nate a lot, but Poirier is a different customer, man.
That's what
Dustin
I'm saying.
Poirier, man, he's dangerous, man. He's a different customer, brethren, and we'll see closer to the fight because I like to judge and call them fights
On the
after watching their camps.
yeah,
Once I know what type of camp they have, because I follow all of them
you
during
watch
their camps.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I follow all of that shit. So once I know the type of camp they have, if they switch coaches, if they have problems with weight cuts, all of that stuff, then I can make a more informed decision on where it might where it might end up. But
Yeah,
up until then,
that's fair.
calling it blind, it's a little shaky for me. So I like to call it a little bit more accurate after following what basically what they've done leading up to the fight
Yeah,
and what the type of energy they have and all of that.
that's fair. That's fair. I did get tweeted a question. I'm going to ask you the question and then I'll answer it myself.
Okay. Yeah.
So this is from Kiefer389. He asks, do you think Amir Khan has come back purely to earn a paycheck and do a David Hay? Now,
Uh,
what do you think? Let me ask you and then I'll answer after.
it's a strange one because, like you said, I mean, Amir Khan, regardless of the result of a fight, he will always put on a show. Some kind of drama is going to happen during the fight,
Mm,
and promoters love that. Promoters love that. I don't think his time in boxing is done just yet. I think he's got something to give to the sport, and I'd like to see him hang around for a few more fights,
mm,
and give us a good build up to the fight, good press conference to the fight, and give us some good boxing. So I like him because of the fact that you want to see him get knocked out, and a lot of the times he doesn't. He's the one doing the knocking out. So for that reason, it's entertaining, isn't it? You know what I mean? I
mm.
like him because of that. But does it want the big money? Of course it does. Every fighter wants that because they know they've got that shelf life. But at the same time, they that greedy that they always want to carry on fighting. So I think he loves that he loves the fighting more than the money. But if the money comes with it, he'll take that. So
Yeah,
what do you
I,
think?
I think with Khan, yes, I think he's come back for a paycheck. I really do. I think the one thing I'll say for Khan, he does make, shall we say, interesting decisions. Like, I don't know who the fuck advised him to fight Canelo. It was just ridiculous. Um, Fighting someone who's that big of a puncher against someone who has a weaker jaw has come
On juice.
on on juice. So to me, I think he's never. I don't know. You kind of watch him because you know there's a chance he could get knocked out cold. Like you say, more often than not, his record is actually not bad. 33-4 is not horrendous.
It's not a bad record. It's not a bad record for the division he's in, because a lot of people in that division, they're knockout artists.
Yeah, it's a stat. It is a stat division, the welterweight division. So, but yeah, I do. For me, I think he'll realize that he can't get the Pacquiao fight. This is what I predict. He'll eventually, reluctantly take the Brook fight, probably early next year. I can't see it happening in December. And then he'll get beat. I think Brook has wanted this fight for so long. There's no way he's losing this fight. He'll get beat. I call it a knockout in 9, and Amir Khan will go off into the 9. That much richer. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Very good possibility. Very, very good possibility. I mean, Leonard Onobahi, if I pronounce your name properly, Onobahi.
Is that in the chat?
Yeah, that's in the chat. He said he wouldn't mind seeing Amir Khan fight Terence Crawford. What do you make of that? Terence
Crawford will whoop his ass. He needs to stay.
Is that the lad? Is he signed under Mayweather's?
I actually don't know who he signed to. Annoyingly.
Yeah, if you know Leonard, let us know. I think I've seen him on Vlad's show before.
Very, very. We're talking about a multiple weight world champion. He's very, very good. He'll whoop Khan's ass. Him versus Brook might be a closer fight, and I still think he'd beat Brook, to be honest.
You think he'll beat Brook?
I do. To me, here's the thing about boxing. Boxing, you have people who are just about good enough to be world champions.
Yeah.
Your David Hayes, your Darren Barkers, your... I shouldn't really say that about Hayes because he was a unified cruiserweight world champ, so I'm going to leave that alone. But
and he came up weight as well, didn't he?
Yeah. So people who are just about good enough to be world champion, but not good enough to be a unified champion or anything like that. And then you have people who are good enough to be unified world champion or might win a couple of world championships. That's where Khan and Brooks sit. But they're not the elite level people. Your Terence Crawfords, your as much as I can't stand him, your Danny Garcias, your absolute echelon people. You know? And that for me, your Keith Thurmans, how could I forget him? Your Keith Thurmans. So to me, that's where Brook and him sit. And I think if they step up, they'll get beat. They've got, both of them are in their 30s now. They've both got a fight or two left at best. Just choose the right fight, and the right fight is each other, and then get the fuck out of the game. That's what I'm hoping that they do.
Yeah, man. Hope it comes to passes, man. You know, the powers that be, you know, hopefully they put the right fight together. And moving forward, you know, for me, I just think fighting in boxing takes just that little bit longer to put together than mixed martial arts, especially the fights that the fans want to see.
In UFC, this fight would have happened twice by now. As much as I cannot stand Dana White, right? And I found it hilarious that Dana White did not stick around yesterday.
He didn't stick around for the press conference, did he?
Because one of his chosen ones got starched. I found that hilarious. But the one thing I would say for him is that him and his team, so, you know, the people that work under him as well, they are the matchmakers. Like, you need someone who people respect, and to just go in there and say, motherfuckers, you guys are going to fight. But because there's 4 boxing organizations in the UFC, in boxing, not to mention you've got the IBO, then you've got politics, because there's no one ruler. Everyone has their own fucking interest, and it's usually fueled by money. So, and that's the problem with boxing. There's no one, for the want of a better expression, HNIC in charge.
Yeah.
That person that just says, no, do it, or we might as well cut you. I don't personally like the way Dana necessarily rules his organization. He does this shit by fear, and I don't like it. I completely agree with Brandon Sharp when he says that.
Yeah. I agree with him as well.
But the
and
one
Rick Franklin is just brought that up in the chat, saying Dana White is killing the UFC.
But that's the thing. I don't get it twisted. This is not a compliment for Dana White, but that's what boxing's missing. That kind of one person, not necessarily a Dana White, just that one person to say, if you don't do this, then this will happen, then X will happen, then Y will happen. Just to force people together and actually fight. Like, why the hell isn't the AJ Wilder fight happening? Just too many.
I mean, that's the politics we're talking about, man. You know, that's the type of thing. Because if that was the UFC, that fight will happen. That fight would have happened.
100%. 100%.
And it's strange how, to me, that's the fight that the fans want to see. And a lot of people were pointing the finger at AJ for not making that fight happen. I've wanted to pick your brain on what you think actually happened there, why it broke down.
I personally think AJ wants this fight. I'm less convinced that Wilder wants this fight, although having said that, I do think his ego would not allow him to feel like he's too scared to take the fight. So maybe he does want the fight. However, unfortunately, both these motherfuckers have teams. I do think, this is me, and I'm an AJ guy, but I have to be real. I don't think his trainer wants to fight yet. And I think subsequently he's communicated that to Eddie, and something has fucked up has gone on in negotiation. At the same time, I do believe that Wilder's team don't want to fight either.
But do both of the fighters want to fight?
I think both the fighters themselves want to fight.
Right. I'm with you now.
Have their own agendas. Because the thing is, we've heard AJ's trainer come out and say that, we want 1 or 2 fights before Wilder. And he said that earlier this year. So this is the one more fight, the Povetkin fight that happens in 2 weeks' time, which, people, that's going to be a fucking difficult fight.
It's a difficult fight, man.
I mean, if you know anything about heavyweight boxing, AJ's considered number 1, Wilder's considered number 2, and Povetkin is considered number 3 in the world. This is not going to be easy.
Stone cold killers, man.
He hits like a truck. The only thing I would say about Povetkin and why I think AJ has a chance, and I back AJ, is because I honestly believe that as much power as Povetkin has, he can be put down. And David Price showed how to do that. And I do believe that AJ will take confidence from that. And also, the man's like 39 years old. So if you can't put him down, quite frankly, if you can't take the power of Povetkin, you can't put down Povetkin, then he probably ain't ready for Wilder, to be honest. Because what you want about Wilder's, wildness in the ring, the man
finishes his fights.
He has the hardest one-shot power in boxing. I truly believe it. The hardest one-shot power in boxing. So if he can't take Povetkin's power, he's got no chance against Wilder. And because I fully back him to beat Wilder, that's another little spoiler alert. If they ever fight, I expect AJ to win. I think AJ's the more skilled boxer. But if you can't take Povetkin's power,
my problem with AJ is his gas tank, man. I worry about his gas tank a lot.
Yeah, because he's got a lot of muscles.
That scares me, man.
He's got a lot of muscles. The one thing I would say, what I liked about the Joe Parker fight, I'm probably the only one in the world that actually liked that fight. Yeah. And the reason I liked that fight was because I liked the way he kind of paced himself, kind of like tried to work Joe Parker out. kind of like just jabbed him out the fight. Really,
It's a purist fight. It's a purist fight.
It's a purist fight. You're absolutely right. You know me, I'm the hardcore boxing guy out of us. Yeah. So yes, of course, I'm not an idiot. I would love for AJ to have knocked him out. But look at what it took White to do to try just to drop Joseph Parker. And White ended up getting dropped himself.
White got lucky. He got lucky right at the end there, man.
He did. 20 more seconds. I'm not sure White survived. And I wanted White to win so bad. I'll tell you, I was screaming at the TV, bro, hold on. I beg you, hold on. Do anything to just hold this motherfucker. Hold it. I was because me, I love Dylan White. I do. I love it. I love it. He's such a big character. I love it. But yeah, man. That's is there any more questions in the chat room? Probably a bit quiet.
Not really, but people's been hanging in there. Big up to Rich Franklin, Leonard Onobahi. Who else has been there? Bobby Burgess, Adam B, Bar Ibrahim, Baldev Singh. Yeah, we've had Nico Wilkes, Killian. We've had a few people up in here hanging with us, and yeah, thank you for staying with us. You know, we just wanted to break down the fight that's happened on the weekend. I think the next one is Triple G Canelo.
Oh, of course. Fucking hell. Look at you. I'm supposed to be a hardcore boxer. Shit. Yes, that is the next one. So, obviously, with Arsenal being back, this is going to be a busy week.
I'm away for Newcastle as well.
Oh, you're away for...
Yeah, I'm away with Lee, troops, them and them. We're going to... Yeah, it's gonna be wild, man. We're going on the Newcastle wildlife at night time, brethren.
Are you going up on a Saturday night?
Yeah. We're going out, man. It's gonna be crazy, man. It's gonna be lit.
Newcastle's a wonderful night out. But so you can't behave because you all have misses. You all have
yeah, don't watch none of that. Don't watch none of that. Stealth and thing, you get me? Yeah,
I already know what Lee was saying to that. Listen, mate, I've got a 10 at home. I don't need anything out in Newcastle.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see people that talk the talk if they can walk the walk.
Oh man! But anyway, so I'll be back next week. Looks like I'm going to be doing a lot of these previews myself for the Golovkin Kalena fight. But yeah, man, it's just. I'm just gonna break it.
No. I'll do it with you on Friday.
Yeah,
I'll do it with you on Friday.
Yeah. Okay. So here's what my schedule looks like, people, for the next couple of days. So I'm gonna try and get Graham on midweek, probably Thursday, to talk about the Arsenal versus Newcastle game. I've kind of sounded him out already, so it's just a case of actually inviting him on. So hopefully it'll be me and Graham midweek. Just breaking down the Newcastle versus Arsenal game. Me and Ola will come by on Friday, do another hardcore and the Filthy Casual and Hardcore show.
Yeah,
then on Saturday lunchtime is when the game's on. So Saturday afternoon, I'll probably do a review of the game. And then on Sunday, after the fight, I'll break down what it looks like. What it looks like. So, yeah. So we'll go.
Man. Hopefully, I'll let you know when I'm on my way back from Newcastle on Sunday, and hopefully we can do that together. Fingers crossed. We should be able to. I came back from South Wales to do this today, man. The commitment is there. You see me.
Honestly, he gets back, bro. He gets about. But guys, what I will do. If you're listening to me for the first time, hit that subscribe button. I do realize that not everybody likes the kind of fight stuff and the boxing stuff. I'm literally just trying to vary it out. Plus, it's been so boring this weekend without football. I can't wait for that shit to come back.
Yeah, man.
So hopefully you haven't been too depressed with my analysis and Ola's analysis over the UFC. We're going to keep this going. What we'll do is we won't do this forever. We'll review what the viewing figures look like after the AJ fight, and then decide whether we'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
But
you guys let us know, if it's something you want us to carry on doing.
Yeah, and that's
and then we decide there.
Leave it in the description below. Also, if it is something you continue like doing, or you've just come across me for the first time and you want to see what I'm like, I'm going to put some playlists together so I separate the fight stuff a little bit more for you guys, so that when you go into the archive, you see where the Arsenal stuff is and then you see where the fight stuff is, just so you're not getting things mixed up here. But yeah, just trying something new for you guys, so we hope you like it. Absolutely crush that like button. It gets the show noticed. That everybody make sure you do that. Also, hit that subscribe button. Much more Arsenal content is coming your way next week. But until then, that is it from me. That is it from Ola. And take care, people.
Salute.
All right. Take care. Should always be more prepared for this.
Yeah, that's why I had